Hey there, YouTube. You might notice the game's a bit on pause at the moment. I'm coming with another Homestory Cup replay cast, but I would like to just ask a quick favor of everybody before I get started here. I've been going out of my way as hard as possible. This isn't a woe is me story, just quick preface, but I've been going out of my way to try and do daily uploads, and unfortunately, it does feel like with every upload, each video is getting less and less views. So I'm not sure if that's that they're not being pushed out to the sub notifications, or if you guys are just not interested in this content. So I'm asking you, please let me know the type of stuff you want to see. I'm experimenting, I'm trying, but frankly, it's so frustrating on YouTube because I don't see the same results for the time and effort I put into YouTube that I do with Twitch. With Twitch, if I stream for 4 hours, I know that I'm going to get X many viewers, but it feels like with YouTube, no matter how many videos I upload, how frequently or what time zone I release them, the views never seem to go up, and I'm not sure what I can do to fix that. So whether it's I need to put less ads on a video, whether it's you guys need to hit that little bell to notify you that the things are going on, I mean, I don't know. And that's where I'm looking for feedback. So if you could please, I'm not trying to game the system with this one. I'm not trying to get like more discoverability. I'm just genuinely looking for your feedback. If you could leave a response in the comments, let me know what does or doesn't work for you. I mean, I feel a little lost, and I'm just trying to find what works for you guys because I love casting StarCraft. I love doing StarCraft, but it feels like all the work and the hard effort I put into this just isn't worth it sometimes. But again, this isn't meant to be a pity party. This is meant to be a constructive way to figure out how to do things better so that you and I can both enjoy YouTube more together. So thank you in advance, dear viewer. But with that being said, let's hit the play button and get into this Homestory Cup replay cast. We'll continue calling these Tales from the B Stream as I grab another game that was broadcast on the B Stream. Spawning here in the top left side of the map, we have the red Zerg player. It's Sue. And his opponent to the bottom right, going to be the blue Terran player, Soul. Soul, of course, one of the proud Polish players, kind of defending Europe's honor in this one. Sue coming all the way from Korea. One of the best things about Homestory Cup is obviously the fun environment it provides. You kind of get that hangout, people drink. It's literally at a gaming bar type thing. But more importantly, I think than that is that it brings everybody together. They can play in a LAN setting. And while I don't know the results of this entire series, I can tell you this much. Sue and Soul, I think to go one-on-one in even settings, I would favor Sue in this matchup, but not nearly as much as I think I would normally or conventionally. In fact, Soul on his best day, like Soul in tip-top shape, I'm confident can take games off of Sue. I just don't know if you could take like a best of 5 or best of 7 or best of 3. I believe these were best of 3s, by the way. I've been trying deathly hard to avoid looking up whether these were best of 3s or not because I want to avoid spoilers. I don't want to see who's won these. I'm literally just grabbing replays that I know were cast on the B stream, and that's it. So yeah, it's been kind of interesting getting to, I guess, watch Homestory Cup in this way. It's one of the first Homestory Cups I have not actually directly watched because my full anticipation was to try and cast some of the replays once the replay pack came out. So again, big shout out to Homestory Cup throwing all this together. But if you really are interested in spoilers and you don't want to sift through this, there is, of course, a Wikipedia page where you can find all that. But at any rate, enough jibba jabba. We have the game starting up now with the Reaper coming out first out of Soul. SCV heads across the map to scout ahead of time to see what's coming up. For Sue, nothing too weird, actually. I guess the gas before is a little different, but honestly, like, this isn't anything where I'm like, oh my god, watch out, there's a roach push coming, you gotta keep that Reaper alive. Although, let's be clear, that's where the direction for this still could go. It pretty much is determined on what he does with his first 100 gas. If he wants to put it towards speed on the Lings, then Soul's not gonna have to worry about too much, but of course, he's going to have to scout that first, and the SCV will just see the hatchery for now and turn back home. So he knows it's not some sort of crazy all-in with a delayed hatchery, but more importantly, it's going to be this Reaper coming across the map. And he'll see that spawning pool wiggle and jiggle, and he knows where that gas was spent. In fact, we can see that he's already pulled most of his workers off of gas to maximize his mineral income while this goes on. Cyber Forest is a bit of a funny map. There's not really a lot of spots for the Reaper to hop up on this one, so getting up there to scout will mean going through these lanes. That's why he's taking a few moments here to pay attention to fight at the front instead of just run by. But now that the Lings are out of position and the Queen's not there, he does get the Reaper up to the main base. This Reaper's gonna get stuck up here, though. I'm a little worried about this. He's waiting for the combat drugs to heal him up a bit. That's why he's staying off to the right side, but as the combat drugs do kick in, speeds by. Don't know if he quite saw that there wasn't much on gas, but the Reaper's going to hop out of here, and what would be great for Soul to see with this is, of course, the third base over to the right side that's been kind of sneakily taken. I didn't really point it out, but if you were watching the minimap, Sue had actually sent the drone a little bit too far this way, just so it would stay out of the sight of the Reaper. Then as soon as the Reaper was confirmed to the natural, he slapped down that hatchery. So it was a really, not a big play, but a nice play out of Sue. making sure that this Reaper wouldn't mess around with the third base timing, and most importantly, wouldn't kill the drone. But there's a follow-up of Hellions. Pretty standard stuff out of Soul, really. Nothing to gawk about in the production tab. Even with the starport swapping over, I mean, everything here is pretty much just like check 1, check 2 if you're playing Terran versus Zerg in a normal capacity and not a strange mech or all-in build. The Banshee, though, not getting cloak associated with it yet. We'll see if he does. There you go. The gas was just finishing up there. So both Banshees can get a fair amount done. Control on the other side of the map's been good out of both players. Sue only really losing creep tumors, not a single Zergling, and the same thing for Soul here, not taking too much damage. Most of it was on the Reaper getting healed up, but ooh, okay. That was some nice pathfinding there. Reaper didn't die, though. However, while this goes on, a Roach Warren is completing here soon for Sue. Not a big deal for Soul, because at the very least, the timing of this is he'll have Banshees. So if there was a Roach attack coming, he'll have units. He'll have the tools to defend against it. But it's really suspicious watching these Queens get really aggressive off of creep like this. Really push these guys off, but also get that creep spread out. One thing that could end up happening here is if he ends up pushing out a lair and goes for just Roaches without speed, the creep can help make up for that lack of speed. Or just in general, without a lair. The fact is, Roaches will scuttle across a little bit quicker on creep than off of creep, as we all know. There's no spores, actually. Ooh, this could be problematic for Sue. As Queens are on the front line spreading creeps, less chasing out the Hellions. There's still one per base, of course, but the Banshees can take this on. 13 seconds to go on Cloak, and I don't actually know how necessary Cloak will be to this. Reaper up here to the top right, gonna get caught with these Lings, so that's gonna be the end of that poor Reaper. First big kill this game. Banshee heads up over here. There's that Cloak. No Spore Crawlers, no detection, and no layers, so this is gonna be a little bit difficult to push off. The Banshee's gonna have a lot of staying power, but here those Roaches scout in the middle of the map. Soul's gonna tickle away at these as he runs back home. There is no bunker. Oh, shoot. This is bad for Soul. He's gonna put 2 bunkers down now, and the wall plus the Banshee should buy enough time for him. But this other Banshee's not getting a lot of kills on the other side of the map. For how idle she's been, she's denied a base worth of mining, but oh, Sue's also made a bit of a mistake here, because while he pulled the drones off of mining to put them on another base, he must have misclicked the minerals, so the drones aren't actually mining while this goes on. However, that's probably the least of his concerns, as he's across the map right now. He's pushing past these 2 bunkers. Even though they do complete, there's nothing to really go inside them. The 3 Marines are held up at the ramp. This Banshee, she, like I said, will eventually clean all this up, but how much damage does Soul take before then? Production's a little bit on the slow side, but with the tank coming out, more Marines on the way, this looks like it should be holdable, but the fact that he can't get down to his bunkers is so problematic. And it looks like the Banshee on the other side of the field has been dealt with. Just confirming that was a kill. Yeah, she was killed off by the Queens. Tank gonna get some shots in here on the Roaches. This should finally clean this mess up, but Soul having lost 23 workers, not nearly as many drones went down in terms of the other side of the map. Salvaging the bunkers even for money at this point. He does load the SCVs into the command center, but wall or not, he's down in such a bad way. And frankly, for Sue, I didn't expect this, and I don't think Soul did either. There was such a nice lash. The timing, too, was so good. I mean, Soul could have hypothetically had bunkers down a little bit sooner, and maybe this wouldn't have been so problematic, but I feel like the same thing happens where if there's 4 Marines inside, because there's only, like, what, 4 Marines in play? How many died? 7 in total. I feel like the Roaches, if they really wanted to, could have just pushed past the bunkers. It's really unfortunate the Banshee wasn't able to do more. She did her best. 11 kills isn't too shabby, but as you can see here, it's a long path to recovery. Luckily, though, with 3 CCs, and more importantly, 3 orbitals finished up, Mules have a lot of power to bring Soul back into this. You're going to see this probably not even out necessarily, but it won't be so behind. 62 workers to 32, though. Once those Mules wear off, Sue's just going to skyrocket on the income. And right now, he's just building up more Roaches. And frankly, I'm a little worried about Soul's push because of this. Oh, the Banshee gets sniped on the top right, too. That would have been a nice addition to this. But the tanks and the Marines, obviously, you know, pick up with the medevacs, get the hell out of dodge. Roaches can't shoot up. So maybe this could be okay if he doesn't overcommit. He does have stim, so getting on top of the Queens won't be so problematic. Grabbing an Overlord for free. That's not too bad of a start. Tanks set up for that siege. Roaches and Ravagers are here. Not enough Ravagers to one-shot the tanks, though. Oh, but he's going to unsiege the tanks and pull back. In doing so, loses the tank, loses the medevac. Well, okay, doesn't lose the medevac. That was getting a lot of hyperbolic, but still loses the tank, and that drop is kind of shut down. Oh, wait, he didn't start combat shields. Okay, so combat shields is a fairly fast upgrade. If you can start that soon, it won't be that big of a deal, but the fact that each of these units is missing that extra 10 health goes a long way. Consider it's like an extra 270 health to the overall army. Like, it's just it's a good chunk of health missing, and Sue's on 86 supply. If these tanks are at home and in a good position, maybe, but Soul's just picked up to go for drops. Now realizing he needed all hands on deck at home, and the Marines are going to be busy unloading while the Army's already jumping on top of this tank. This is looking pretty grim. He does have a lot of Marines, though, and Stim's looking fantastic. 1-1's not done. SCV's getting pulled. That tank's lived a lot longer than I thought it would. Almost holds the push here out of Sue, but 39 workers, 23 Army supply. Even if he holds this push, can he hold the next? Or the one after that? Goes to Bob's landing, what little there is left, and I want to emphasize what little there is left. Nice micro out of Soul, but he's going to tap out GG or WW. Sue takes the game.